Kimi K3 just shipped with 2.8 trillion parameters. That's the headline everyone's repeating this week. Now here's the part nobody's saying out loud. As of right now, it does not run on a laptop. Not at 2-bit, not at 1-bit, not with every trick in llama.cpp's toolbox. Okay, so before you close the tab, stay with me because the actual story here is better than the clickbait, and it's the story of what genuinely does run on the laptop sitting next to you. Moonshot AI dropped K3 on July 16th, and by every independent measure, it's real. 2.8 trillion total parameters, a sparse mixture of experts design that only wakes up 16 of its 896 experts per token, roughly 1.8% activation. 1 million token context window. It's already sitting at number 1 on the frontend code arena leaderboard, ahead of Claude Fable 5 in that specific benchmark, and it's beating Claude Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5 across coding and agentic tasks, though it still trails Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Sol on overall composite scoring. That's Tier 1. That's the model's own release data cross-checked against third-party arena results, not marketing copy. So here's the problem this creates for anyone who read the headline and started shopping for a MacBook. A 2.8 trillion parameter model at native precision needs roughly 594 gigabytes just for the weights. Add KV cache, activation buffers, runtime overhead, and you're looking at 650 gigabytes to a full terabyte of combined memory to run it comfortably. That's not laptop territory. That's not even single workstation territory. That's a multi-GPU server rack. Now, quantization changes the math, but not enough to close this particular gap. Drop to 4-bit with GPTQ or AWQ formats, and the weight file falls to around 148 gigabytes, which gets you into 2 GPU Pro workstation range, $5,000 to $6,000 of hardware. Push further into the extreme formats IQ-XXS, IQ1.eit, the stuff the community builds specifically to squeeze frontier models into consumer reach, and you're still at 75 to 90 gigabytes minimum. A high-end laptop tops out around 64 gigabytes of unified memory or system RAM. You're short every time. Lay out the actual hardware ladder, and the gap gets even clearer. An entry developer tier, a single RTX 4090 with 64 gigabytes of system RAM, roughly $2,500 to $3,000. That's K2 territory at 4-bit dot. Step up to 2 RTX 4090s and 128 gigabytes of RAM, $5,000 to $6,000, and you're running K2.5 or K2.6 comfortably at production speeds. A genuine enthusiast cluster, 3 or 4 RTX 3090s or 4090s, with 256 gigabytes of RAM, $8,000 to $12,000, starts flirting with K3 at the most extreme quantization levels. And even then, it's experimentation, not something you'd point production traffic at. Full precision K3, the version that matches the benchmark numbers everyone's quoting, needs 8 H100 GPUs and 2 terabytes of RAM, $150,000. And up, that's the honest ladder, rung by rung, and the laptop simply isn't on it yet for this specific model. Okay, so that's the what. Now here's why the laptop claim isn't actually a lie, it's just pointed at the wrong model. Kimi K2, the predecessor, is a completely different proposition. 1 trillion total parameters, 32 billion active, a design Moonshot has been refining since July of last year through K2, K2 Thinking, K2.5, and K2.6. Quantized down to 4-bit, K2 fits into 64 gigabytes of RAM on a laptop with a 12 to 16 gigabyte mobile GPU, using CPU-GPU hybrid offloading, where llama.cpp splits layers between VRAM and system memory. You'll get 2 to 8 tokens per second. That's slow for a live conversation, genuinely sluggish, but perfectly workable for batch jobs, overnight document processing, agent runs. You don't need to babysit in real time. And Apple Silicon changes the equation further. A MacBook Pro with an M3 or M4 Max chip and 128 gigabytes of unified memory can load a moderately quantized K2 model entirely into fast memory. No offloading required, because Apple's chips share one memory pool between CPU and GPU. The bandwidth on the latest chips pushes toward 800 gigabytes per second, which starts closing in on entry-level discrete GPU territory. That's the actual laptop story, not K3. K2 on a Mac, quantized, patient. Layer 2, why this is different from just waiting for better hardware. The reason K3 exists at 2.8 trillion parameters and still costs less per token than you'd expect comes down to two architectural changes Moonshot built in-house. Kimi Delta Attention, a hybrid linear attention mechanism that avoids the quadratic cost of standard attention scaling with context length. And attention residuals, a drop-in replacement for how information moves between transformer layers, which Moonshot says delivers consistent scaling gains as the model grows. Combined, Moonshot claims roughly 2.5x better scaling efficiency over K2, and K3 uses 21% fewer output tokens than K2.6 on equivalent tasks. That efficiency is exactly why the API pricing looks the way it does. Layer 3, the real numbers, because this is where the video earns its keep. K3's API pricing is $3 per million input tokens, $15 per million output tokens. With cached input at 30 cents per million, that caching discount alone can cut repeated context workloads by up to 90%. Compare that to Claude Opus 4.8 at $15 input and $75 output, or GPT 5.6 Terra at roughly the same input price as K3, but matching on output too. K3 undercuts Opus tier pricing by roughly 5 times, while landing competitive benchmark scores in coding specifically. One independent tester clocked K3's reasoning mode burning 13,241 tokens on a simple SVG generation task, about 25 cents for one query, so the token efficiency claim needs a real-world asterisk. This model thinks a lot, and thinking costs money, even at low per-token rates. Let's talk about what any of this is actually for, because parameter counts and pricing tables don't mean much without a workload attached to them. Coding sits at the top of the list, and that's not an accident. It's where Moonshot pointed the training. K3's 1 million token context window means an entire mid-sized codebase can sit in context at once. No chunking, no vector database, no retrieval pipeline bolted on top. Just to answer, where is this function called? Tools like continue.dev or a custom VS Code extension can point at a local VLLM or SGLang endpoint the same way they'd point at any cloud API. And for a solo developer, K2 running locally at that 50 to 200 millisecond latency range feels close enough to a cloud copilot that the difference stops mattering day to day. Document analysis is the second real use case, and it's the one where local deployment stops being a preference and starts being a requirement for some teams. A law firm processing client contracts, a healthcare provider handling protected health information, a financial team analyzing proprietary filings. None of those want a million tokens of sensitive material leaving the building through a third-party API, no matter how good that API's privacy policy reads. Local Kimi, even the K2 version running on a single workstation, keeps that entire million token context inside your own infrastructure. That's not a performance argument, it's a compliance one, and for the right audience, it's the argument that ends the conversation. Agentic workflows are the third, and the quietest reason local deployment starts making financial sense. A single-turn chat query generates a few hundred tokens. A multi-step agent loop, plan, execute, verify, retry, generates thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, per task. That token volume is exactly what amplifies the gap between per-token API billing and a fixed-cost box sitting under your desk. If you're running LangGraph, Crew AI, or a custom tool calling loop against Kimi dozens of times a day, the math that made API access look cheap for a single chat conversation stops applying once the workload is agentic and constant. Now, the honest part, because a channel that only shows you the number that flatters the story isn't worth 10 minutes of your time. First, wait release timing is not locked. Moonshot has said full open waits land by July 27th, but the K2 family has a track record of shipping incrementally, and delays to stated timelines aren't unusual in this specific lab's history. Don't buy hardware against a date that hasn't happened yet. Second, quantization at the extreme end genuinely degrades output. 4-bit preserves 95 to 97% of model quality for general tasks. That's solid. But push to 2 or 3-bit, the range you'd need to even attempt squeezing K3 toward prosumer reach. And you're down to 88 to 93% retention, which shows up as real degradation on anything requiring precise reasoning. Third, the tooling is behind. VLLM's official K3 support is expected late July. SGLang is still actively developing MoE optimizations for a model this size, and community GGUF quantization work depends entirely on weights that don't exist yet. You'd be an early adopter debugging an immature stack, not running a polished product. So here's the fork. Run K2, quantized, on your own hardware right now if you want hands-on MoE deployment experience. If your workload is document analysis or agentic tasks that tolerate 2 to 8 tokens per second, and if data privacy matters more than raw speed, skip local entirely and use K3 through the API if you need frontier tier coding performance today, if your usage is bursty rather than constant, or if you don't have $5,000 to $6,000 sitting around for the workstation tier that gets you anywhere close to running quantized K3 yourself. There's no shame in the API path here. At $3 and $15 per million tokens, K3 through the cloud is still cheaper than most of what it's competing against. What to watch? First, whether the July 27th weight release actually holds, because community quantization work, the IQ2 and IQ1.EIT formats that might eventually bring K3 into workstation range can't start until those weights exist. Second, whether VLLM and SGLang ship production-ready MoE support on schedule, because right now the software gap is as real a barrier as the hardware gap. If both land on time, K3 goes from technically running somewhere to running on hardware a small team can actually own a lot faster than the laptop head. K2 proves you can already put your hands on that architecture tonight. So start with K2 quantized this weekend and learn what MoE deployment actually feels like before K3's weights give you a bigger model to point the same skills at.